Hey, Rigsters here, back with part 2, or episode 2 of Need for Speed Pro Street. Showed a few races and some of my tuning thinking for the Honda Civic. So before we go to another race, we're going to briefly tune this 240SX, continuing off from the previous episode. We go to custom tune, and see if there's any parts I could put on for free here. Page 1 transmission here. Any turbos or superchargers? No. Suspension? Not even a suspension. Wow. How about brakes? No. Tires? Okay, just tires. I'm trying to be really cheap with my parts here because I believe that now I'm trying to also tune this at the same time while blabbing. I'm doing like a max autoscope front for the stock autoscope because unlike drag mode like we did with the Civic, we want maximum grip. Most courses, with some exceptions in grip mode, usually favor cornering grip versus raw speed. There are a few that you can get really fast, but they're few and far between in comparison. Let's see here, is there any spoilers? Nope. Okay. Interesting body kit there. Alright, so I'm going to put on at least stage 1 brand boot brakes just to get a little more brake performance out of it. And I don't really want to spend too much more because I want to get a really good car. So for now, we'll just do a visual here. We did like a weird orange for the Honda, so let's do like a more classy red for the 240SX. Let's see here, what would look nice. Oh, that looks cool. I like that dark red. Chrome looks pretty good too. I'm gonna try something different though. Let's see if maybe it's just a smidge lighter. Yeah, there we go. That looks cool. And then let's tint the window tint roll here. This is just cosmetic crap, so I usually don't do this too often in racing games, but because I've met a friend that showed me like how you can make vehicles look really nice. Oh, that just looks sick. I love it. Okay, I gotta stop fawning over this car and just actually just get to the tuning. I could spend too much time doing that, and I don't want to do that. So nitrous pressure, we want to be a bit on the lower side, and the flow rate to be like that. And drivetrain, we want to make it just a smidge shorter, just so the car gets up to speed a little bit quicker. And then we update the blueprint and set that as active. I like this way better than the stock car, that's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. So now we got 2 competitive cars for drag and grip. So now let's go to the race menu and take a look around here. Let's see here. So it doesn't look like there's much difference here. So let's do the top one, which is Willow Springs. So let's go to there.
Hey, the car's looking tight. Hope you can keep it off the...
And you can also bring 1 backup car as well. But since we only have 2 cars, we have to deal with it. Alright, so at the bottom of your screen here, the number 6 of the triangle is your total insurance. If you run out of those and don't have money, well, the car gets totaled and you lose it. Yes, there is that risk, but fortunately in this game it seems to reward them like candy. And if you're not like too weird with your cars, you usually will be okay. The insurance normal repair one is to the left. That one you can potentially use up actually more often than not. And damage in bars, light is 1 bar, medium is 2, also can be known as heavy, and 3 is basically near total or total. So let's get to a race. Let's do a quarter-mile drag. Let's see how much faster I can get this car to go. So we make 224 horsepower, and we're up against the Golf GTI. Look at how thick these tires look. I think they're just cosmetic. I don't know. Let's just see. Now, since this is a front-wheel drive car, it's not going to be as competitive later on, but I'm going to give it a shot just to see if you actually can make this more competitive at the later end game. I mean, in real life, these cars actually were competitive in a drag because of their lightweight. Oh, 12.75. Okay. So I might need to increase the start boost just a little bit. Or maybe the high-end torque. So we'll see. Maybe I can get a better start. I'm trying to get a faster time than 12.75. So we'll see. Because drag is all about acceleration and power to weight ratio. Okay, so I still spun the wheels just a bit there. Alright, let's apply nitrous in third gear. I need a little more nitrous power as well. That was a slower time. Sometimes if you do a good shift and force shift it faster, you get a faster lap time. Or ET time. I was so used to saying laps in racing games. So, let's see if we can do better in this one. Oh! And I almost forgot to mention in this game, I forgot to mention in the first one, you can actually do half-mile drags in this game, too. And wheelie drags. Wheelie drags is endgame. Half-mile is not very common, unfortunately. Most of the time you're going to be doing quarter. Although there is some really interesting half-miles in this game, too. So now I got a perfect shift again. There we go. Still not faster than 12.7. That's okay. 12.75. It just takes your fastest time and you go from there. And you only get a measly $1,000. So you see why I try to save the money? You don't get much in the beginning, money-wise. So let's do a grip race. Okay, so we're up against some muscle cars and Corvette 67. The Corvette 67 is in the PC version. Based on memory, I really don't think the Wii or DS have the Corvette 67. So let's see with the 240SX now tuned up. There's 8 cars on the field. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging. And this is a tighter course, so it's going to be kind of interesting. So this Honda Civic is the only one that I think is going to give me trouble. So I definitely do not have good top speed on the 240SX, but it is definitely good for the turns. Now, if you don't contact the car too heavily, you can get away with a little bit of rubbing. The spots are a little bit herpy-derpy, or hit or miss sometimes. That's for sure. I love the red on this 240SX as I'm driving down Willow Springs, and then I can apply some nitrous here. It seems like I can't go much faster than 115 miles an hour, which is kind of hilarious. But I also don't have much engine power to begin with. It's also because of the drag as well. Now, if you're too aggressive with the turning, you can actually cause this car to lift up much higher than that. But that's okay. Alright, final lap. One nice thing about the early races is you can breeze through them pretty easily. Sometimes you do have to let go and tap the brakes just a bit, just so you don't flip the car when you're trying to turn. Even though it says green arrows, be careful in sustained turns, because sometimes you can really flip these things in King, I've noticed. Like, they really roll a lot. Especially when you have stability control turned off. But I want to be able to rotate, so that's not really a huge bummer or problem for me. Sometimes just simply letting go of the accelerator, or gas pedal as most people say, is sometimes the right call to do. Let's see here, just want to get down the straightaway. Ah, there we go. And also, you can change the camera view, of course. And also, by default, you get this weird, annoying, like, ETA and time thing. If you press and bind it to a button on your gamepad, just like I said in the previous episode, it's better to have this position 1 of 8 than this weird, goofy, estimate time ahead or behind your competition is. For sure. Because I even find that very annoying. Another easy win, another easy day. Alright, so we've won the race day, but I'm going to want to dominate it. So how much more points do you need to dominate? 8,400. Okay, so that's probably like another race or 2. Let's do a short circuit. Now this is time attack mode. Now it's much different than the heads-up races we just did for a while. You do not have to pass these cars in front of you, although I recommend doing so, because they can get in your way. So it's basically you're trying to set the fastest time overall in the entire course, which is not bad. This is a traditional race mode. Nothing too fancy on the mode aspects outside of that. Just have to just drive around and do what you can. It's kind of interesting too that ever since I did that, oh, and sometimes the AI will crash, just like that. Now this is like the easy challenges. They get much harder in the later races, or at least more competitive, as they call it. But I don't know. I have kind of mixed feelings about the AI in this game, because in some cases they get either too hard on certain courses, or sometimes they just crash and you're like, oh, well, that was easy. But isn't that true for most racing games? Kinda. Some just have a better balance of it or not. Like, why is he braking there? He doesn't need to brake mid-corner. Alright, time to apply some nitrous to get past him. There we go. Now you'll see, like, there's a time to beat. Most of the time I just view it as a way of getting familiar with the course. I'm not really concerned about the other cars around me. I just do my thing and just drive. That's basically what you do. I mean, what else is there to say while you're playing a racing game? Just go around and try to do the best you can. I don't really have to concentrate too much on the driving, because this car, for short circuits, especially when set up correctly, especially for these kind of courses, it's not hard to drive. Even on King mode. Just make sure you have the ABS on though. I don't know why you would turn that off, especially since this car in real life actually had ABS. I don't know why you would want to lock up your wheels to brake. I guess it's useful in certain low corner situations, but I don't think it's really that much of a benefit. So let's apply that nitrous again. There you go, 114. So now let's see if I can beat 114. I'm not sure if I'm going to, but I can certainly try. I don't have any more nitrous, so I have to rely just on keeping the momentum up through the turns here. There we go. And now these racing lines in this game, like directionally, for its time, is not too shabby. It's a little bit confusing at first, but there's no way to turn that off as far as I know. I do actually use them, but sometimes following the racing line can get you into trouble. It is a good indicator though of like when you need to actually slow down versus when you think you need to slow down. So let's see if I can actually, oh no, I'm gonna understeer off the course. Yep. Really close to understeering off the course. You know, if you hit those markers back there, you actually will damage your car. I've tested that. It does actually damage it. Oh, I did beat it by 2 seconds. There we go. Easy domination. 1 minute 12 seconds. Really good. So now I just need to do one more race. I like to dominate these because... Oh yeah, this is Group A and Group B match racing. So basically you have two classes of cars. Group A usually being the slowest and Group B being the faster. And usually the cars are like muscle cars for this particular challenge series. So they're really fast in the straights, of course. And usually don't corner well in the turns. Usually, it can get a little hectic and confusing because sometimes you think you're in the lead, but then you realize that there is actually a Group A car in front of you. I'm in Group A, of course, because this car is not very powerful yet. I think this car in the game is actually not bad. And it's very good for beginners to drive and learn. Or just even in general. One thing I do like about Pro Street though is it is the first game I've really played a lot back in the day, and of course now playing on PC, that it taught me how to drive clean. Because prior to playing this game, I would play stuff like Mario Kart or Carbon, and I would like constantly be bonking into things or other competitors intentionally all the time. This game said no. You get punished for that, and there are consequences. And who doesn't want to have a nice looking red car at the end of the race? I mean, I usually don't paint my cars red in racing games very often. I think the color red is definitely a very interesting choice though, for certain vehicles. At the very least, this vehicle I just wanted to show that red window tint with a red car is a nice look. Now, looks are very subjective for cars in general. But usually, ideally, if you want to do it the more proper way, or at least have like a flow or cohesion of colors, you generally want to match the body paint with the window tint. In real life, it's not cheap, especially the paint itself. I'm pretty sure this paint in real life probably costs like thousands of dollars if you add the tint on top of that. Probably can get it cheaper if you do it yourself though, but I don't know how you do something like this yourself for the window tint. The paint you could, but not the tint, I think. It's kind of funny, this race is just so easy that you can just blab about random things. Because why not? I mean, blabbing about random things is what people do, you know? No, I gotta really, I don't know what else to say. I literally am wordless right now because I don't know what else I could really comment on for this race. Other than the fact that I set a new lap time, and that even Group B, even though they're slowly gaining up on the straights, just cannot hang with this car. They only would hang with me if this course had longer straights. That's for sure. Now, I did turn a slower lap time because I understeered too often. But that's okay. 309.72. Nice. Nice and easy. There you go, 5 grand. Yeah. And then see, this is why you want to dominate, because you get another choice. Oh, now that's a good upgrade. Sometimes these upgrades can be really stupid and they're random in stages. There is actually an additional stage. There's stage 4, but it's really rare to get. But that is definitely something you want. There we go. Now we unlocked some new courses and races. So before I go and conclude this video, let's add those parts on the Honda Civic. Let's add this stage 2 part. Let's see which tire it is. Stage 2 Michelin's. Okay. That'll definitely help. And now we have 39,400 monies. Alright. Perfect. So that's a good stopping point there. So we upgraded the Honda Civic, made a little more cash, and upgraded the 240SX just a little bit. Probably the next one, I'll probably invest just a little more into 240SX so I can finish the races even faster. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rigsters Journey, signing off.